Welcome friends, I hope you're doing really well. And in this video, we're going to talk about a hard topic. Feel like I need to bring it up again. I've done videos about this before, about the need for safety to be able to make progress in non-diet eating disorder recovery, to work in and on and with your health, all those kind of things. And the theme I usually talk about is hunger for the truth. Do we recognize that if we don't love the truth above anything else, above our comfort, it's pretty easy to stay in denial. Pretty easy to stay in denial that even though maybe some of your behaviors are better than they once were, that doesn't mean that you've gone as far as it can be gone. It just means maybe there's some inner protection going on with inside of you, some aspects of your story, some aspects of what happened to you, to where it's like that some parts of you are still believing that your needs are too much, or that that you just can't get it right with your food. Whatever beliefs you have, it's almost like whatever beliefs about yourself, like who you are, or whatever beliefs you maybe have around safety or around healing. If we don't deal with some of these conflicts, it's we start to believe that like recovery isn't for us, basically, and that's where the denial pops in. Is like, have we actually? Doesn't mean that you have to change any behaviors this hot second. It just means, okay, what would that mean if there's still more to go? What would it mean if, like, well, maybe if you're 80% renourished or 80% weight restored, or what would it mean if your eating's actually pretty good, like the binging is pretty much gone, and you mostly eat from hunger and fullness, and mostly eat with mostly or all eat from full permission, but some parts you still feel like that even just the tiniest bit of weight loss would help you feel like you deserve to exist. Those are all indicators that like there's a little bit more to go, and that's not bad. It's just being out of full denial is a process. It takes a while, because we have to be able to own our whole story. And so I'm not saying this that like anybody who's watching this, somehow you messed up and you should have known this. No, I don't think so. I don't hardly ever hear it talked about. So that's why I'm doing it. It's been on my heart for about 3 days, and I'll be honest, I didn't really want to do this video because I don't want ever to make people, not that I can make people feel anything, but I didn't want anyone to perceive that they're not doing it right. It's just that we have, it's like if we love truth more than anything else, we're going to want to keep going. We're going to want to see, I'm going to go as far as I can go before I'm done here in this life. Because that brings hope that like, that maybe if there are parts that we haven't fully healed yet, we just haven't had the right ingredients around us, like in our day-to-day life, to support that level of vulnerability, to really look at this. It just takes time. Just, sometimes it's capacity. Sometimes it's the right people. Sometimes it's just your level of readiness for willing to be uncomfortable. Sometimes it's education. Sometimes we just don't understand how attachment works. Sometimes we just don't understand that, like, some of the I'm bad, it's my fault, I do everything wrong and that's why my body is not okay, which is why I'm not as lovable. Sometimes we don't recognize it, like, wait, my adult self knows that stuff isn't really true, but it sure feels true inside. Sometimes we don't know that we need to learn how to be co-conscious of these things and recognize, oh, I'm in this double bind. Like, I know this is not where I want to be. This is not part of my values and my morals to self-abandon or self-reject, but I'm still kind of doing it. And so there must be some part of me that think that this is the only way to be. And until you recognize that it's possible within the same person to be able to have conflict inside about full recovery, then that's why we call it, sometimes we call it feeling stuck, or progress being hindered or kind of slow. Again, sometimes it's a lack of safety. Sometimes it's not the right support. Sometimes, like, the environment you're in isn't conducive to healing and you're just still in survival mode. And all those other issues kind of have to be addressed before this deeper work can happen. Or even your food can be like successfully consistent and it's just like not a big deal anymore. And that's what we're working towards. It's like you don't have that internal conflict. It's like, yeah, that happened. I can own that I had that neglect and it's totally not my fault. It's just the environment and the trauma or, all these attachment ruptures. It's generation after generation, never got fixed. Oh, there's this lack of protection from diet culture that my parents didn't even know they needed to be responsible for. They were just as brainwashed as everybody else. So we can own that, like, oh, here's some things that we can make repair with each other over. Here's some places that I can forgive myself or others. Once you start kind of seeing that, that's the education piece. What do I need to know that I'm missing, if there's something I'm missing here? When I first started doing, I guess we're going to call it trauma-informed work, in 2011, it was the missing piece. It's like, how possibly, it made sense. Like, oh, if the body is in fight, flight, freeze, or please, back here, this brainstem area, how are we going to, like, frontal lobe, like, problem solve through things? And if this is all activated because in the hippocampus, like, memories and emotions are getting triggered and, you feel like you're 2 again or you're 10 and you have no say and you're not lovable, you're sure as heck not going to follow your meal plan in that state, for sure. And so if you don't know that that's what's holding you back, then that's part of the education piece. Sometimes it's not denial. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what I don't know. And am I going to be relentless for the truth of, like, what variables might be allowing the struggle to stay? All right. And that's what this video is about today. So it's not about criticizing anyone, calling anyone out. I mean, it's just a process. Like, I didn't know this stuff. All I knew when I started recovery is that, like, I wasn't eating from hunger and fullness. Like, I saw other people who, I had 1 or 2 people in my life that I knew didn't think hardly at all about their bodies, kind of average active, ate whatever food, mostly ate from hunger and fullness, enjoyed food, ate what they liked, didn't what they didn't, kind of ate a variety, and didn't really think about it that much. There were 2 people in my life that I kind of basically like, oh, I want that. I don't know how to get there. What do they do? Well, here's their behaviors. They eat regularly. They don't talk trash about their body. They don't even seem, they kind of think dieting is like an alien concept. And however they got there, I don't know. Well, they believed it. So they worked on, their beliefs were different than mine. My beliefs were like, fitness is success. And if I'm, if I manage things and I hold on and I control things, then I won't go into a different category of body shape that will get me criticized when I'm already also dealing with a lot of other stuff. So the purpose of believing it, because it was a relief valve from all of the tension of, like, too much and not enough. And I recognize I don't know how to fix all that yet. That's another day. But for now, it's like, if I can eat regularly and faithfully and consistently and learn my body's feedback, then maybe it's something that's real that I can trust, because I don't really trust what I see around me and all these other people. So I'm going to have to trust something that's like, that will give me some, like, facts. Because every decade, the diet stuff is new that the people around me are doing, and they're not any happier. They lose weight, they're not happier, but they feel sad that, they say feel sad, and then, because they're still waiting on that rescue that they never get from that weight loss. Their mind's not free, even if their bodies are smaller. I saw it as a kid, as a teenager, and that's the way I was programmed to be, because that's what our environment teaches us. And unless somebody teaches you something better, that's what you got. So the thing is, we unlearn and we learn new stuff. But you have to want the truth. So part of eating regularly is wanting the truth. What's my body say? I know what my head says. It's got all these conflicting ideas and views and fears and rejections, but my body doesn't have all those opinions. It just needs what it needs. And so that's what I decided to be the guidepost. And that was my search for truth. And then later became, after it was more like physically, the food was not such the big fire anymore. It became about the other things like body image and movement and just learning where all these concepts came from, and then going deeper, around trauma. And you see how these things were sequential. It wasn't at one time. And If anybody ever tells you that somehow you just pull yourself by your bootstrings and you recover, I don't believe that's true. I think that there can be a really strong hunger for truth in people that really drives them, or some kind of value, or wanting to do this to live out purpose, or not share this to the next generation. People can have some really strong motivators to help fuel some of the discomfort that is going to be felt. But in that also, when you see people that seem to like have certain things going for them in the recovery, sometimes it's good support, sometimes it's not, but sometimes there's just maybe some level of safety that allows for more risk taking as well. So keep that all in mind. Don't compare yourself to the people. It's not a bootstraps issue. It's really a safety issue, understanding issue, seeking truth issue, being willing at the little droplets you can at a time without running back, to be willing to see what's driving all this, and just want to have no stones left unturned. That's kind of it. And of course, it's going to go so much more efficiently if you have support. You know, it is really like you're carrying like a table or something and trying to get in your front door. Well, you can like hold the table and hit the knob, the screen door with your elbow, and then push the door, the table up against the door, and get one hand free and turn the doorknob and get in the house. You can do that. Or you can let people who are competent and who are safe and just want to make this go faster for you, you can let them help you. And I know some people are like, what about the access to care? Well, it's like, I know there are times and seasons when it feels really impossible, or you're not ready for it when it's available, or whatever, but that's okay. We gotta hold that hope that something else is gonna come around. But when we do have the opportunities, we gotta grab them. Okay, because somebody can just open that door for you. You still gotta hold your table. You still gotta deal with what's gotta get moved around here. But it can just be easier. Okay, and you have to do it by yourself. So that's it for this video today about truth. Are you just, is the goal here to like just know enough to like be less in trouble with the food and body and health stuff, like a partial truth? Or is it like that, because that would be and you're still level of like it's survival but less bad survival? Or are we talking thriving here? Okay, are we willing to pursue the truth at all cost? That's kind of what I see being a big driver in healing. So thank you so much for watching, and I do look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please put them below in the comments and I will get to them. If you have anything you want me to share around food or nutrition topics, intuitive eating topics, trauma physiology, how it affects the body image. If you have questions, concerns, want to know something more about, you can be anonymous, but just like, hey, this is what I'm going through. What are the first steps? Or like, this is, I don't know what I'm missing here. Here's going on. Let me know, and I'll do some teaching about it. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.